I have two different statements for you. In the beginning, there was nothing, and it exploded and turned into something. Or, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Which one do you think is right? Well, in this video, intro video to a series I'm doing, I'm going to tell you. So, if you want to see it, keep watching. And you'll at least hear what the different stories are. So I'm making this series, a new series here that talks about creation science. And I've studied it for a long time and talked to many people who have studied it also. But this video is just an introduction about that. I'm going to be just going to give the general synopsis of the creation story and the evolutionary story. And then we'll have some other videos about each one. And I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of them. So, anyway, to start out with, let's go over creation. The creation story is God created the earth in 6 days, and then on the seventh day He rested, which is why we have Sabbath, which is why we have Sabbath. Yeah, today, the day when people rest. Sunday is when people usually rest, or Saturday for some people. But anyway, the creation story. Day 1, He created light. Day 2, He created water. And it says He separated the water that's below the firmament, which I do not know what it is, but it says birds fly in the firmament, so it's probably the sky. It said He separated the water below the firmament from the water above the firmament. Day 3, He created dry land and plants on the land. And that would be on earth. And day 4, He created the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the planets and everything like that. Day 5, He created sea creatures and birds. Day 6, He created the land animals and the people. And on the seventh day He rested. That's the story of creation right there. Now, as far as evolution goes, this is all according to evolutionary scientists, what I'm about to tell you. It's just exactly what they say. They just won't tell it to you exactly like this. In the beginning, there was a ball of nothing. Or sometimes they say it was something, but they say this ball of nothing, or something, we don't really know because we weren't there, but this ball of whatever it was started spinning and compressed down and got really small and hot and started spinning real fast, and all at once just blew up. Now it flew out, or everything, or all of this nothing flew out into the universe, and it started turning into different elements, apparently. And then at some point, stars and planets started forming from all these elements that went together from gravity or whatever. And then at some point, there's a star, and all these rocks went together, and they had oxygen in them, or at least they think they did. And all these rocks went together and they made a planet, and then asteroids hit this planet for years and started it spinning, and also deposited water and other minerals. And eventually, the rocks that had formed the planet seeped out this oxygen and other chemicals that make up our atmosphere now. This was the Earth I'm talking about. And at some point, this water that came from the asteroids that bombarded the Earth for millions of years, it started pooling on the ground. And it started evaporating and forming clouds and then lightning, I guess. And see, there was this pool one time sitting here, and this pool of this primordial soup, liquid, which is what they call it primordial soup. That's where we came from, supposedly. This soup was sitting here, and it got hit randomly by lightning a few times, and that lightning brought these chemicals to life. Now, I'm not going to go very into detail on this video because it'd take way too long, but all these chemicals came together and formed one cell. Now, that cell could reproduce, and it could take in good stuff and not take in bad stuff. It could take out bad stuff from it, and all the stuff like that. That's another entire video. But anyway, this cell started evolving. See, it would adapt to its surroundings as it mutated and everything, which is what they say. Every time it would mutate, it would get a little bit better because its previous parent, I guess you'd call it, would see that its surroundings are bad, so its offspring needs to evolve in this way so it can handle these surroundings. So they did that for a long time, and then it turned into fish eventually. And then the fish eventually decided, well, they'd be better suited on the land, so they mutated their children, and the children turned into land animals. Manatees, like they turned into hippopotamus, like the evolutionists say. And so, lots of evolution later, chickens turned into dinosaurs, as the evolutionists say. And the dinosaurs died out from a giant meteor that didn't kill all the people, or that didn't kill all the animals on Earth somehow. And then eventually all these animals kept evolving and turned into humanoid shaped people. And at some point these humanoid type things started using hand instruments that they made themselves, because they thought that they'd be better suited if they made instruments. And at some point, one was grunting a certain way, and then another one recognized, well, hey, it's trying to say something, and so eventually, there's at least 13 or 14 theories for this, but they came up with a language somehow this way. And so, several million years after this planet made of rocks that was bombarded with other rocks that left water and all that stuff, it had humans living on it. And they eventually turned into us somehow. And that's where we came from. So, I'm going to be going over both of these theories and telling you guys which ones I think is the most accurate and what's wrong with both of them. I don't think there's I don't think there's anything wrong with Christianity or the Christian creationist model, and I'm going to be telling you guys what I think about it and the evidence behind it. I don't want you to take just my opinion for it. You need to look at the actual evidence for it. So, anyway, I hope you've found this informational, and be looking forward for the next video in the series. I'm not sure what I'm going to do it on yet, but yeah. So anyway, hope you got some kind of information out of this, and be looking forward to the rest of the videos. Thanks for watching.